ready?
Yeah.
This happens every time. Okay, hey guys, welcome back to another podcast. How is it doing? Or how is everyone doing? I hope you're all having a great day. So, episode 3. We're here. Episode 3. It's been a month. Might be out a little bit late because it is April the 1st. Happy April Fool's Day to everyone. And I'm joined by Billy. You guys will know from the last podcast, hopefully. Say hello, Billy.
Hello.
And also a new guest today, we have CJ. Say hello, CJ.
Hello.
CJ is new. He hasn't been here before. We had Billy last time, and we've got another returning person for after the break. So stay tuned for that. We were meant to have Fia, but she wasn't feeling too good today, so that's absolutely fine. She'll be there for the next one. The next podcast we have, though, the lead up for the amount of people we have, is going to be amazing. Episode 4 is going to be such a banger. But
I can't wait for that. I will be appearing on that one. Thank you very much.
Perfect. And Billy too, hopefully.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Okay. Well, let's start with our special guest. CJ, how has your month been? What have you been up to? What have you been doing? You know, stuff like that.
I have been very fucking busy trying to get a job, but nothing's working, and it's really, really irritating me. I don't know why, but it's so hard, man.
It really is. I'm trying to. Oh my god.
It's so dumb. Like, bro, I've been doing everything. Like forklift course, warehouse course, fucking customer service course, bro, everything. And just nothing. Like, my CV's getting stacked and just nothing.
I've been trying to do the same thing. I am even struggling to find a job as well, so I get how you feel. Also, I completely forgot to say, what's a little bit about you for the audience to know? Give us like one fun fact that people will know.
How do I say it? One fact about myself is I've done boxing for near enough 10 years, but that's not fun or at all. But how do I say? Oh, fuck me, man. I can't think.
Well, do you want to explain how you know me?
I know you. Yes, I do that. I know Sam since primary school, since year 2 when I joined, because I was a very naughty boy and may have got put out of primary school, my first one. So I went to year 1. I remember walking into the classroom. No, on the playground, I was literally by myself. I didn't know what the fuck that I was doing. And then you, literally, little fucking giant, come up to me and said, "Oh, do you want to go up there?" Like, we had this like massive thing.
You're right, man.
You properly introduce yourself as well. You was like, "Hi, my name's Sam. This is the playground. I'll take you around and you can have a look."
That is true. I think I did do that.
Yeah. No, I remember it. We were standing by the what is it called? The thing in the middle. In the middle of the playground. The castle,
Yeah,
the king
like
of the
castle. There was like a
we played King of the Castle. It's massive, yeah.
It was like this huge thing in the middle
amazing.
of the playground that was like this huge wooden castle that you could just go and climb and just have fun and do stuff. Obviously, me being me, I forced CJ to play these things when he was a bit like.
Yeah.
It was very antisocial.
But I was a bit like, no, this is what's going on.
Well, I'll be back.
Yeah, that's okay. Don't
Carry
worry.
on.
Take your time. I would have introduced Billy, but he will be back soon.
He will be back in a minute.
He's got his pouch. He's getting his man pouch. Okay. I'll wait to start the first topic. Yeah, it's okay. I'll wait until we start the first topic, but I might as well tell you guys now. For the second half of the podcast, we will be joined by Bevan, which is great. You guys, if you've watched the past 2 episodes, you will know him from the first one, because on the first one we had Lauren, we had Bevan, we had Unique, and we had Blue. So that was for the first one. Then the second one we had Billy, Fia, Dom, Blue, and myself. I'm not forgetting anyone, am I? I don't think so. Oh, and Logan. Can't forget Logan. And then for episode 3 today, we will have CJ, we'll have Billy, and then we will have Bevan when he's here and ready. Yeah, but me and CJ have known Bevan for a very, very long time. We've all known each other really for a long time. Billy, I've Billy, I've only known in like the last year. I met him, I think, last August, maybe. I think it was the August just gone. But yeah, CJ, it's kind of weird to think that we went to the same primary, we went to the same secondary, and now hopefully in a couple months you will be coming to the same college as me.
That is very true. Yes, I want to come to college to do either photography or video editing.
Yeah.
And if I come or when I come, I'm going to stack myself with work to do, which is very good.
We won't say the names of these places because that's giving too much information away, and we don't want.
I'll come to my address, bro. I'll tell you my street address.
That is something you would do as well, though.
Bro, I have 8 dogs, bro. Come in the house.
That is true. The dogs are amazing, but to be fair, like I swear, 6 of them are like puppies. There's a doggo right there. There is a doggo right there.
Yeah, bro, they'll bite your ankles, bro. What do you mean?
He'll come and get you.
I can't walk
He'll get you.
I can't walk out there without shoes on because puppies will bite your toes, bro. It fucking hurts.
Right. If we wait a minute, we will introduce Billy, so we'll be right back. Okay, and we are back. Sorry about that, guys. There was just a few audio issues that we just had to sort out, and also waiting on Billy, but that's okay. Don't worry. So, we heard from CJ about some of the good things that he's been up to and some of the ways that he met me and stuff like that. But Billy, how has your month been? What have you been up to? What have you been doing?
Fuck all. I can't, like, I've been heavy grinding for. I feel like I got so much better in the last 2 weeks. And I'm just trying to grind every single fucking day now.
Good. So. That's great. I mean, at least you know you're working towards something, I guess.
That is very true.
That is true, right? But yeah, that's great. I mean, I know Billy has been grinding with our friend Ben. He probably won't ever be on one of the podcasts, but never say never. I know CJ is part of their trio when they play Fortnite. They play it competitively, so that's great. And they all are enjoying it. You guys are enjoying it. You know what you like. You know what you don't like.
Very true. I love fucking this. I love Fortnite this season specifically because of the guns. The guns are actually quite cool.
It is a good season.
They don't burn out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good season. There's a lot of faults as well at the same time.
Say the faults. What's wrong with Fortnite?
I'll talk about the faults off of podcast because this podcast isn't a Fortnite podcast. I'm not going to bore our viewers, okay? Because there are people who genuinely watch this who don't like Fortnite, so I'm gonna back up. I'm gonna back up from that.
Okay.
But in terms of how your month has been, Billy, what would you rate it out of 10?
10. Say 9.
A 9. Okay.
Yeah.
What about out of 11? Would it still be a 9?
Yeah, good. Yeah, 9. 9/11. Yeah.
I shouldn't have made that joke. I should not have made that joke. Dark humor, guys.
No, that's the perfect segue for the first step. That's the first.
Well, that is a perfect segue. But hold on, CJ, what would you rate your month out of 11? We'll go from 11. Why not?
Okay. I'm not gonna go with the special holiday that I celebrate every year.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So, out of 11, what would you rate it?
For a party? I rate my month about 4.
Should be higher than that because me and you met up this month. I'm disappointed.
That is very true. That gives it a 4. Otherwise, it'd be very nice.
Yes.
Actually,
okay. Well, like Billy was saying, the perfect segue into 9/11. It's not into 9/11, but our topic number 1 is conspiracies and alien theories. So, right off the bat, Billy and CJ, or Billy or CJ, do you have a specific conspiracy or alien theory you want to talk about?
How do I say it? Fucking Bush did 9/11. That one.
Bush did 9/11.
Yes, the whole 9/11 fiasco. whether it was staged or done by the government.
I mean,
I guess.
it definitely wasn't just these terrorists. I can say that it definitely wasn't these terrorists, like the whole thing, because you have people from inside the building who have said they heard the explosions go off from inside instead of outside. Now, whether that's just a trick of the ear, I don't know, but there have been like reports of people before they died, like there are bombs going off in the building and stuff like that. So it definitely wasn't just the planes.
I think the week before as well, the American government lost like trillions of dollars.
Yeah.
And then, and a lot before that, a lot of investors high up in the government pulled out their investments inside, and they made fucking billions.
That is true. That is true. I mean, it was definitely a ploy of some kind, you know.
100%. It was a money scandal, pretty much. All them lives are a money scandal.
Yeah.
Because no way the terrorists and fucking everyone like that. It's been proven. The American government has stated that their tech, the terrorist tech in the Middle East, are way more advanced than fucking any US, any UK fucking military force, because they have everything at their disposal. They can use everything. Every high tech piece of equipment that you can think of, they have.
That is true. That is true. That almost is the perfect segue to the second part of that. But Billy, what do you think?
About what, 9/11?
Well, yeah, in 9/11, any other conspiracies? Like, what do you think?
You know what? I'm gonna move to the moon landing.
You're gonna move to the moon? Was that?
Yeah,
actually,
the moon landing.
Before we move on to the moon landing, apparently, Osama bin Laden loved to play video games.
He played Minecraft. CS:GO Minecraft.
He loved playing.
Played a little bit of Fortnite. You know,
so if you were active in 2000, 2001 playing CS:GO, you might have already killed bin Laden.
You definitely weren't active playing Minecraft though, because Minecraft didn't come out to 2009, I think it was.
2008, I think. Was it 9?
I'm pretty sure it was 9, because I remember playing the actual fully released version in 2011, but I don't.
I think alpha version came out in June 2009.
Yeah, that would make sense to me. That would make sense.
Yeah, I've got.
Because they found Steam on his PC.
Yeah, which is crazy, to be honest. But you know, go on, Osama. But with the moon landing thing, all I can really say from that is the only thing that makes me not believe it is the shoe that they have from, I think it's Neil Armstrong's, like the actual boot he was wearing. It doesn't coincide with the actual footprint of what was found on the moon. So there is a chance that it could have easily been faked.
That is very true, but I have a counter to that. Fucking, why would they literally spend billions of dollars doing something that was faked? Also, they have a space station right now and out in space. Also, there was millions upon millions of worded documents that was written by NASA and by the government for the moon landing. If you say it was fake, would that also be fake?
Can we just talk about, are you playing Kovacs, by the way?
No, I'm playing Fortnite.
Oh my god. He's playing Fortnite while doing the podcast. But I get what you're saying.
It's because I can't, like, how do I say, I can't concentrate, I can't sit still for a long amount of time, otherwise I'd need to do something, and it just, my head goes, woo.
Okay.
And I can't think
properly
either. It just helps me speak.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of.
Fair enough. But you saying why would they spend millions and billions of dollars? It's to gain national attention. They do anything to gain national attention.
It was, I think,
millions of documents as well.
At the time, I think it was just pre-Cold War as well. They wanted to like beat Russia.
Post-Cold War, yeah.
Yeah.
Like Buzz Aldrin, Neil Armstrong, they got silenced by the FBI after it happened to never talk about it.
Oh, really?
Or like,
apparently there was some. They were told to get off the moon. Apparently, because there was like one of the audio recordings before this voice shit came out, before it was like perfected, you know, with the deep fakes and the deep voices and that. Before it was all like perfected.
They used Discord back then.
Yeah, they used Discord. That's the best thing they could use.
Before all of that was perfected, there was a voice recording, like basically like cut out saying that they're threatening us, like we need to get off the moon right now. Because that's why they didn't go back for so many. They still haven't gone back to the moon because apparently there was aircraft at the other side of the crater that they were on, just observing them, and it felt like to them it was threatening them. And this only come out recently when one of them died.
Yeah, didn't I hear something recently? There was an interview. I think it was either with Buzz Aldrin or Neil Armstrong. I don't remember. But there was an interview, I think, of this little girl asking, you know, what was the moon like? And he turned around and said, "Oh, we were never there." Something along those lines. We were never there. You know, it wasn't all that. And everyone was like, "Hold on a minute. Is this them like actually confirming that was bullshit? The whole landing." Because it wouldn't surprise me if it was, because I feel like at that point in time they weren't technologically ready to go to the moon. You know.
No, it was 1960s, post-war, no. So it's post fucking the Cold War. I think no, that happened in the 70s. It was post with the race. No, before the race with Russia to go to the moon. Fucking.
He's losing his train of thought.
Yeah, no.
It's okay.
It's because I investigated heavily into the topic because I had free time for the last 2 years.
Yeah, I get what you mean. You've had a lot of free time on your hands, man.
Yeah, a lot of free time to do anything that I want now. I it, but besides the point.
I just noticed as well, Billy, your glass is broken. And then
they've been broken.
Tape at the side. Oh God. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's great. A conspiracy I just want to talk about quickly. That this was something that, like, you know, I mean, it's not really a conspiracy. It's kind of more to do with like religion in an aspect. Something I've always thought about is that currently, right, the Earth and reality that we live in is hell. Then when we die, we go to heaven or purgatory or whatever you believe in, afterlife, nothing, whatever you believe in.
Personally, I think it's the opposite.
Okay.
I say we're in heaven right now because we're alive, we're speaking, we're conscious. Like we can actually do things with our life. We can do what we want. We have our own free will. If we didn't have free will, then what would heaven really be?
Yeah.
If you get what I mean.
Okay.
Like, I'm religious, but I don't stay or stick to one religion. Like I'm not an atheist. I do believe that there is something. I'm more like
agnostic.
I'm more like a realist
agnostic,
kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe what Billy said.
I'm like a realist.
Yeah, Billy said.
I know there is something, but I don't know what. See, the reason I can get behind the Muslim religion, I support that religion 100%, but I don't know why. But I don't really not support. Like I support it. You can do what you want, but I wouldn't really follow the Christian religion at all because of like the countless documents that have been changed, the secrets behind the church, and like even the people behind it, people in the religion are basically not ruining it, but they're not making a good life.
The Pope. So, yeah, straight up, just the Pope is the problem. Get him out.
He's in hospital at the minute anyway.
Oh, is he?
Is he?
I mean, he's old. He is old, to be fair. I wouldn't, be surprised if, But have you seen those like images recently that got like posted around that were fake? I'll put it here. It's like the Pope dripped out in like, it's like the white uniform, but he's wearing like a puffer jacket like I am, and he's got like this huge, just like rosary just around his neck.
Hold on. There was this thing of the Pope. I need to
I'll let
show
him
it
find that.
to he was
Yeah. My religion personally, I was raised Catholic, but I can get behind other religions as well, because I do agree that there is a way for all religions and science and everything in between to marry up and kind of come up with some solution to an extent. Like, I do believe that you can still be a religion but believe things from other religions or science or whatever you want to believe in, you know?
it's the Muslim religion and Christianity or Catholicism is quite close than people realize. They believe in like messenger. They basically believe in the same thing. People are fucking, how do I say, get misinformation about it, and it's really fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, to where people judge and they're like literally racist towards other people because they don't believe the same thing that we believe or they believe, and it's not a nice thing because they still believe in all of the same people, the prophets, except for some of the prophets like Muhammad, but still.
I love how this is meant to be like a conspiracies and alien theories kind of bit, but it's now turning into religion. Let's kind of jump back to the conspiracies. Is there any other conspiracies that you guys can see that you're like, whoa, that's actually kind of crazy if that's true?
Madeleine
McCann.
Yeah.
You both
Madeleine
just
McCann.
you both just
Madeleine
oh
McCann.
I just honestly I think it's absolute bullshit, right? You know how recently there was that girl who came out and was like, I'm Madeleine McCann. No, she was, I think it was on Dr. Phil, I'm not sure, but she was that Polish girl. And she has like the same eye thing as Madeleine McCann and stuff like that. And the parents have gone up to Poland, I think it is, and they've done a DNA test. But she looks nothing like the girl. Like, usually when you grow up, right, you do look somewhat like what you used to, even when you were a kid. No matter what, you still have aspects of what you used to look like. She looks nothing like her. I'll put a photo. I'll put a photo over here. But she looks nothing like her.
I'm looking at the photo now, right? I think the DNA test is fake.
It would make sense.
I think so.
I was saying this to my nan and my mum. I don't believe it. She does not look... Besides the little eye thing, she looks nothing like her. Like, I do not believe it one bit.
And if it was her, it wouldn't have been on Dr. Phil first.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been, guys, I think I'm Madeleine McCann. Let's get this publicised nationwide.
That would have been fucking worldwide, fucking, like,
and everyone. It still was. It was.
Yeah.
Even the rumours were like, oh my god, is this it? Could this be it?
Yeah, even before fucking the thing, it would have been worldwide. Like, even before he was, like, they were on a fucking Dutch film. Oh, I sent in a link, by the way, to the podcast ideas chat.
Oh, okay.
It's only a short one. It's about the Pope thing.
Okay, I'll put that up on the thing when we go through the editing process. If there's like any images or information, I'll put that up here and here. So there'll be like one there and one there.
Yeah.
But with the Madeleine thing, sorry, go on, CJ. You were gonna say.
Oh, sorry. It's about the Pope. Basically, what happened after the end of his speech, after they cut the camera on him, he disappeared. He vanished. Like, he turned around, walked, and he just disappeared.
He's Christ.
No. Look at what's the YouTube video that I sent.
I'll put it. Do you know what? I'll put it up here. Actually, no, I won't put it up there. I'll put it in the video now. Okay, right, that's the video. I'm gonna say, as someone who hasn't watched it yet, I'm not gonna watch it now, but as someone who hasn't watched it yet, whoa, he just disappeared. That's crazy. I just had to. It's you know, I'll have to watch it after the podcast, but I'll do like a side note. I'll edit like a side note here, hopefully. But just quickly with the Madeleine thing, I'm gonna personally say, I think she's dead. I personally think that
100%.
that's the feeling I'm getting, and the fact that it's kind of like, oh, she's still alive somewhere. It's a bit like that's a stretch, because she would have come out by now, because she would have been 19, something like that. Yeah. So you kind of would know. You would know, and also there is no way that the parents don't have something to do with it. I don't agree. Yeah,
that is what I wanted to say. I think the parents had 100% something to do with that, because you wouldn't leave an unattended child in Portugal, nonetheless, where there's a massive paedophile ring there. Like, it is fucking massive.
How do you know, CJ?
If you're on the beach, some guys, some people, it's specific to what countries you go to, and specifically in South America and like Asia and that, they'll come up to you and like ask you, do you want to have fun with like some people, or do you want to go to a party or something? And they'll bring you there. And there was a massive one that got busted about 10 years ago. They'll bring you there, and there's fucking loads of kid hookers, kid strippers, and that you can go and like do whatever with.
It's disgusting.
And it's in these third world countries that you can do them, and people come up to you on the beach and tell you, like, do you want to do that? And most of the time, because there are some sick fucks out there, people will say yes.
I mean, if
they'll go to it. And that is a massive underworld business.
If that's what you're saying, then they probably was like, "Hey, little girl, we have some things for you."
No, I'd say they cut a deal with the parents, because if you can sell off children for quite a lot of money, that you can get like.
But the thing is, right,
millions.
The parents didn't need the money. That's like the only thing with it. Like, they were like, quite successful.
But once you have money, you can't go wrong with more money, and that's the kind of thing that sick people think about.
Yeah, there's a sin of greed,
and so they just don't know. Like, they look like your stereotypical guilty people. They just look guilty,
Even when the mother was crying, she was crying way too much, like way after the fact that it already happened. Yeah, I know it's a traumatic event, but the amount of times that she cried on TV specifically was a bit much.
Do you know what it kind of reminds me of?
After a while, they look like crocodile tears. I'm not even going to lie to you. They look like fake tears, 100%.
Do you know what it reminds me of? If you guys know about the John Benet Ramsey case that was ages ago. She was this little girl who was like, she did beauty pageants and stuff like that. She was maybe 6 or 7. I can't remember the exact age. Forgive me if I'm wrong. But she was this lovely little beautiful girl. Everyone was like, "Oh my God, you're really pretty. You should be this and that." She was in the public eye a little bit, and then she mysteriously vanished. And then I think, if I'm correct, she was found dead. She was found dead, obviously. And she had things like railroad stab marks in her that her little brother had and stuff like that. So the whole thing was the family had something to do with it. And if you watch any of the interviews with the brother, he is the most creepiest guy you will ever see. They're like, "Did you kill your sister?" And he's like,
It's the most, how do I say? No, it's the most obvious ones. It's the most obvious ones that not in reality that are actually guilty, or not guilty, if you know what I mean. Because like, you could have the creepiest guy in the room, and you'd think like, oh, he's a rapist or he's a sex offender or whatever. But in reality, most of the time that he isn't, is someone that you least expect in the room that would always get away with it. The sociopaths and psychopaths have a tendency to fit into like a crowd of people without being noticed, and it's like, in reality, it's really, really fucking scary if you think about it, because like, you could be manipulated by someone and you wouldn't even fucking notice it at all.
I mean, there's a ransom note that was left for. So when John Benet was taken, there was a ransom note that was left on the stairs saying, "We'll give you back your kid for this amount of money," but it was written in the mother's handwriting. So when they found that, they were like, "Hold on a minute, that's not right." It was like the brother and the mother who were the most guilty. I think the father was also guilty because he found the girl. He found the dead girl in their basement, which was crazy, and like no one else is gonna have access to that but them. But there was like there was also something to do with like a Santa Claus that came to the house, and then they were like the Santa killed him, or maybe the Santa had something to do with it. I don't know, but it was one of the biggest cases. Yeah, it's the
why would they give a house tour to a Santa Claus that was only meant to be there in their living room?
Yeah.
Or even going up to her bedroom, maybe, to surprise her.
Exactly.
Like,
it just doesn't
why
make
would
sense.
he have access to the basement? Most basements have a key to get into as well in America, but like you'd never know.
It's just the two biggest kind of sus things to me is one, the fact that the ransom note was written in the mother's handwriting, and two, some of the marks that were found, like the stab wounds on John Bonet's body, fit the end of the railroad tracks that the younger brother had as like a toy. And they were like maybe this wide, so like you can imagine like a railroad track goes like this. It's like a piece, and it's like the end silver parts that kind of join everything together. And if you go like that, you're obviously going to have like two little holes in the person if you're going to stab them, and that was found on her body. So
yeah, she definitely. I think personally, I think she didn't want to do the beauty pageants anymore, and I'd say it's something as petty as that. I'd say like she didn't
probably.
Or she was bored of it or some shit, and she wanted just to get out of it and wanted to do something like I don't know, more towards what she likes. And the parents weren't having none of it because they wanted her little daughter to be like a superstar and whatever. Because you know how like possessive parents can become.
I just remembered something as well. This is like the worst part. I really hope I'm getting this accurate. It was either blood or semen that was found on her panties from the dad as well. So that I think it was one of those two, but I know it was definitely from the dad. But it's like, how does that get there? That makes no sense. It doesn't just get there like that, you know. So it's just another one of these conspiracies.
In reality, let's be in reality, she was most likely raped because if you're murdering a child, you're going to have to be a sick fuck. But like 9 times out of 10, you're going to rape the child.
That's
if
true,
you kill
and
a child,
it's horrible.
You're going.
It's fucking horrible. Like these poor defenseless children. Like, what are they meant to do? You know,
they have no strength. No, they have no strength, no nothing. They can't fend off themselves. They're literally fucking helpless.
It's disgusting.
Then you have people like taking advantage, and they don't know like right from fucking wrong either.
It's true. It's
like,
true.
Oh, yeah.
I don't. I mean, another one of these conspiracies. That's what I mean. It's just these. There's a lot of conspiracies, but back to like the Madeleine McCann stuff. There is no way that the parents didn't have something to do with it. It's the same with the John Bonet case. There is no way that the parents didn't have something to do with it. You know.
It's fucked up in these worlds because
no one's ever been arrested for it either.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, because it can't be proven by like cybersecurity and fucking everything. Like it literally cannot be proven at all. So they can't have like physical evidence. The amount of evidence needed to put someone in jail can be in some cases very minuscule reasoning, or if it's some outrageous case. In some outrageous case, you would need a fuck ton of evidence. Like you could have a video of them doing it, like them there talking to the people,
and not be enough.
Like kidnap their child, and it wouldn't be enough. Like you could see them laughing and joking with them, and they could write it off as them being friendly. When like, why would you get to know your victim's fucking parents?
Yeah.
Or your target parents before you like do it, because then you could be like put in jail for like being on the camera and talking with them, or even fucking knowing them. So you wouldn't be known or seen before you kidnap a child.
I agree.
And how would they know what room to go to either? So they definitely was being watched, and the room key as well. Now, how did they get in? Why was the window left open with a little child there on holiday?
Yeah, I don't know, but moving on from the kind of conspiracy side, what about aliens? Because I definitely think we are not alone
Oh
in
yeah.
this universe.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. There's trillions. There's more planets than there are grains of sand on the fucking Earth, and you do not know how deep the fucking Sahara goes.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's absolutely fucking insane.
The fact it used to be water as well is crazy. It used to be an ocean. The Sahara Desert used to be an ocean. That's absolutely crazy.
Yeah. And the only land types used to be fucking Pangaea, what the fuck it's called.
Billy, what do you think about the alien side?
100%. Like, one was a very big Doctor Who fan, so like, obviously that show's based off, time travel going everywhere. It's like, the universe is infinite, and there's no way that like with the only
the universe.
There's...
To us, at this point, it is infinite because it is expanding at a rate where it's literally fucking inhuman to keep up. It's expanding faster than the speed of light can catch up. And and the further we look out into the galaxy, the more we see, because the more light is traveling back to us. So we don't really know from our distance in the galaxy how far like it really goes, because we're like near enough in the middle.
We're only one universe in a huge multiverse of universes, pretty much.
That hasn't been proven. There's like very like lost the air about it, because there's a lot of theories that actually prove it, like a lot of relativities that prove it, but there's also things that literally make it physically impossible for that actually to happen. So we don't know on the bar of where it is. On the bar of reality, can we bend reality or not? Because if we can, then it's possible. If we can't, then no.
I love how CJ's taken the spotlight for this podcast, by the way.
I'm heavily into fucking conspiracies, aliens, and like weird shit weird stories. Like the good and the bad stories.
Okay, that's good. I mean, that's great that you have all this information.
I'm very knowledgeable about
it. No, with what Billy was saying though, definitely you can't not be alone in a universe that has how many planets, and we're one of how many universes? We're just the Milky Way. We are more than just the Milky Way. There is more than that,
Yeah.
Go on.
We have never seen we've got electrical signals coming out from Earth as well, like coming to Earth from aliens, but like we did decipher one, and it was really weird because we set out a biology of what we looked like and our heritage and like our male and female, and one got sent back on the same thing. People keep saying it's fake, but it was so specifically drawn to them. It would be very, very hard to fucking fake, because not a lot of people have that knowledge of actually doing it.
Yeah, that's true.
And also, fuck. You go on. I need to think about this.
That's okay, Billy. Well, go on. Continue with what you were adding.
Well, like, there's obviously like a multitude of planets that have the same like subtropics as us, because we didn't just come from primates. We came from like organisms that were warmed by like volcanoes in the sea, and there's obviously planets with the same like temperatures and like climate that we like thrived in, and like maybe they're earlier on in their like life cycle, because our planet's 4 billion years old.
Oh yeah,
that is true.
So, like, maybe they're like earlier or perhaps even later, because the sun only lives for 10 billion years.
Yeah,
there was
so it's just like
there was structures that actually have been found on either Venus or Mars.
I think it was Venus.
No, I think it was Mars.
No, it's because I heard something about the water was found on Mars, something like that.
Yeah, methane water. It is. Oh yeah, and Venus could not get that hot, specifically if it was that close to the sun at all. It was made by house gases, greenhouse gases that have literally overpopulated the Earth, like overpopulated Venus, which is fucked. And I keep remembering this thing that it's not clicking in my head on how to say it. Oh yeah, there you go. we actually haven't seen a planet physically without using data than our own solar system. So we actually don't know. We try to read electronic signals or like microwave signals to see whether there is like activity on like other planets, but we don't know what type of matter, what type of density, what type of like radio signal or signals that they're giving out, because we're not advanced. Either we're not advanced enough yet, or they're not advanced enough yet. And even if we do see it, it would be like thousands of years in the past, because like if we look at a planet about 10,000 light years away, that was 10,000 years ago on that planet.
Yeah,
which is kind of weird. Kind of warps with time. It's really fucking cool.
I'd love to see just like a starship just come out of the sky, just straight up come out of hyperspace or something. Oh my god! Oh my god! That'd be great. But yeah, definitely, there are bits and life and things we don't know out there, obviously, because the universe is huge. You know, if we were to know everything, then we'd be advanced as the human race, but we're not. We are this compared to everything else.
We are 0.8 on the Kardashev scale.
Yeah, like you said, we are a grain of sand.
The Kardashev scale basically is fucking a scale to how advanced our like humanity is. 0.1 on the Kardashev scale is we are able to harness all like the sun's energy into our own system, into our own house. We're able to harness our own minerals and all of our energy and the sun's energy at the same time. So we basically have infinite energy.
Okay.
2 on the scales that we do on our universe, on our solar system. Like we're able to harness all of the minerals, resources in our solar system. And 3 is our galaxy, and then 4 is our universe. Yeah, fuck it. It gets a bit complicated from there.
Yeah.
There's like 7.
Okay.
There's type 6 civilizations are like.
Go on, Billy. Sorry, say that again.
Well, I'm just doing some research quick. Some that's carry on.
It's okay. After this, we will continue with topic 2 because we don't want it to run over. Because that was the mistake. Sorry, the mistake we had for the first time, where we ran over a little bit too long and then it got a bit scuffed. But that's okay. We will get to the end of this. As much as this topic, right? Maybe should just be for one whole podcast, because it's such a big topic. You can't discuss it all in a short frame of time, you know.
That is very true, and there's a lot of stuff to say as well about it.
But we'll wait for Billy to get his little bit of research, and then we'll move on to our second topic, which is going to be something more friendly, more family friendly. People can talk about, anyone can talk about, even kids can talk about.
Oh, by the way, they've mastered. Not mastered, but we can teleport now, but in very small amounts. They actually like make teleporting.
I've heard that we can't teleport as humans.
They can teleport protons, electrons, and things. They can teleport atoms basically now, like instantly. But the only problem is, there was actually an episode of Family Guy that actually explored this issue. Forgot what the episode name was called, but Stewie and Brian actually made a teleportation device that teleported them to Las Vegas. Well, what actually happened? They knew one of themselves. It split into 2 realities. So this is where it proves the multiverse. It split into 2 realities. One version of them went to like the teleportation device worked, and it copied them in Las Vegas, and one it didn't work and it failed, and they had to go there themselves. And this has it's been proven in that research. It was in Mexico, I think, that fucking of like the things actually copied instead of teleporting.
I definitely think that is a possibility that you will be able to do that. Like, not yet, but like properly. But I know that we can't teleport humans yet, because that would mess up our whole genetic structure and everything. But sorry, Billy, with your research, what have you found? Go ahead.
I couldn't find, but there's a thing with Type 6 civilizations where it's theorized that you could essentially cage the universe into like using its energy and like
that's the Kardashev scale.
the card shifts.
Like,
Yeah,
you could use fucking like you're literally a god. You're a god in your own universe.
Mhm.
Like
you're literally able to change like
that's
time,
what it is.
physics,
You're
everything.
you're able to visit any point, anytime, do anything that you want, change your form, change anything. You can do anything to your molecular structure. You can do anything to your genetics, your genes.
Mm-hmm.
You
So
can
Rick,
literally.
I turn
You're
myself into a
fucking
pickle, Morty.
Like it's fucked.
Yeah. Anyway.
Hold on, I'll be back in a sec.
That's okay, CJ. Don't worry. Take your time. So, topic 1 was a doozy of a topic. It was huge. You can't go too much into it because once you open that can of worms, you can never put it back in. So, on topic number 2, because originally it was going to be something else, but I'm going to wait till Bevan's here for that because I know he's very opinionated on this subject. Because if you remember back to part 1, you'll know how opinionated Bevan can be. So, for topic number 2, we have pets, right? And why and what we want from them. So, what pet would you want? You know, what you like about pets, what you don't like about pets, stuff like that. I'm going to have to explain that again for CJ, aren't I? Okay, CJ, basically, topic number 2 we're moving on to now is about pets, why we want pets, what pets we would want if we don't have them, and what do you like about them overall, in general. Billy, I'll start with you.
pets. I mean, at the minute, I've got 5 cats.
Yeah.
I've had dogs before and like probably like 30 other cats in my life.
Fucking hell.
I don't know what it is like about it. It's just, I suppose they're just there, aren't they?
They're just there.
Like they can emotional support. They can like, I don't know. Well, obviously, you know, they help with like your serotonin and stuff. If you're feeling down, like you got your pets and
That's
like
true.
they help and stuff like that. It's just like,
yeah. Do you like them though,
Yeah.
or do you think they're annoying?
oh, both. I feel,
Is there a specific pet you'd want that you don't have?
probably a dog again.
A dog.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I ain't
What
had one for a
breed?
while. Probably a Staffy.
I'd love a husky, to be honest. Huskies are beautiful creatures. I personally have never had pets because we're not really allowed them where I live. Oh, hello, CJ. We're not really allowed them where I live, which is okay. But the only pet I've ever had was goldfish. I'm going to explain a little story very quickly. So, when I was younger, I think I was about 9, 8, something like that. It was in this shopping centre that me and my mum went to, and they had a pet shop. And I was like, oh my god, this is great. I'd absolutely love a pet. And my mum was like, well, we can't have pets, obviously, because of where we live. And the only thing that I, laid my eyes on were goldfish. I was like, oh, we could get goldfish. Like, goldfish don't take up space. They're little things. You don't have to worry about them. And my mum was like, let me ask your dad. So she called up my dad. He said, yeah, it should be okay. And my mum was like, okay. We got this, bag of maybe, 5 goldfish, I think. And we brought them home, and all we had was this glass bowl, which was fine. It's like your typical. You get goldfish, you put them in a bowl. That's all that matters. So he just brought his pet. I can't remember. Is that Jerry or Luna? Meow. He's gonna start scratching him up. But the thing that was the problem was there was no lid to this bowl. So there were these 5 goldfish in this little bowl. They were living their life, right? It was a great evening. I loved it. I loved that I had a pet finally that I couldn't really handle, but I could still feed and watch and stuff.
You actually can handle goldfish, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Some women trained her goldfish, not trained it, but basically it liked being picked up and thrown back into the water, and it would
I've
swim
seen
to her
those.
to do it again and again.
I've seen those on TikTok.
It's fucking cool, man.
But The only problem the only problem with the goldfish, right? Like I said, there was no lid on the bowl. So the next day, I go downstairs. You know, it's getting ready for school. I want to go check up on the goldfish. I want to see how they're doing. I go downstairs and they're not there. So I was like, oh, maybe my mum like moved them because the bowl was quite small. You know, maybe she moved them. I looked around and then I kind of looked down at the floor and I saw this little like thing on the floor. I didn't know what it was. Yeah. I looked at it. It was the goldfish. Apparently, the majority of them had jumped out in the middle of the night, and I'd come down the next morning to find another goldfish that had jumped out. So basically, the goldfish hated their life so much and hated me that they killed themselves.
Fucking committed suicide.
So after that, never had any pet again. Ever, ever, ever. I'd love a pet. I don't mind a hamster. I don't mind anything. But, you know, I'm afraid they're going to kill themselves again because of just looking at my ugly mug. Okay? I imagine you heard that, Billy.
Yeah.
If I could have a pet, it would be a dog, definitely. I'd love a husky. I'd love a husky so much. My dad said that he would want a dog, but he doesn't want a big one, and he doesn't want a dog that grows. He wants a small little yappy dog that just doesn't shed, doesn't molt, just even bare. Like literally, just wants a small dog that he can get along with, right? It won't ever happen, probably, but Yorkie's very good. That's what he'd want. He'd want a little dog that just yaps and just sits there, doesn't bother you.
Pomeranian.
To be fair, I'd take care of the dog all the time. I'd take it no matter what. If my parents were like, I don't want that fucking thing in my room, I'd take care of the dog. Bro, it can sleep on my bed. It can go wherever it wants. As long as it doesn't shit on my bed. As long as it doesn't shit on my bed, CJ, we're all good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, go
do you want to explain the story? Explain the story for the podcast. Go on.
I had this was one day I wanted three of my friends to come around. We all they all bought their PlayStations. I already had two in my house because I bought Mum got me the PS4 Pro and I still had the old PS4. So it was me, I think Adrian, or it's either Adrian or Leo, my old friend Cameron, and Sam, all in the house, all just like chilling. I was on one side of the room, they were on the other side of the room, like next to each other, whatever. We were all playing on the PlayStation, all the different like little mini TVs that I had, and fucking my dog was in the room, like, because she got excited. I wanted to show them my dogs and like.
She's actually sleeping on the floor right behind him.
She is sleeping on the floor right here. If you can see her, she's just chilling.
It's a bit grainy, but that's okay.
And anyway, yeah, fucking. So we were just chilling, going by. Sam was sitting on my bed next to my dog, and she was like petting him, whatever. And she didn't. There was no signs of anything that she wanted to go out or anything. So I turned around. I was like, all right, I'll play my game now because I was like, I'm a bit bored. Or I was like, I wanted to show them something. And fucking my dog decided to do about 10 circles before she laid down. She turned around, bent over in front of Sam's face, squatted, and had a shit on the bed. It was the most massive shit I've ever fucking seen in my life. And Sam watched it come out of her arse. She
stank up the whole room.
It was disgusting. I had to throw my fucking quilt out because it seeped in through the quilt.
The only thing I remember differently was that it was just me and you. I don't remember any of the others being there. I just remember it being me and you. And you were like, Sam, move the dog. And I was like, what do you want me to do? I've never had a pet before. Sam, move the fucking dog. I was like, what?
I think Cameron was there. That's when we bought our PlayStations over.
Takes this massive shit on the bed, and I'm like, oh my god, and you're losing it. You're just losing it. You're like, oh my god, you fucking shit dog, move.
You bitch sat on my bed where I sleep, and you didn't push her off the bed.
Because I've never had a. I didn't know what it was doing.
It was squatting down to have a shit.
No, it was like it was standing there, and then it just kind of bent over a little bit. I was like, "What?"
He was like, "Oh no, what is it doing?" Proceed to shit on my bed, bruv.
I went CJ.
I
went CJ. What's she doing? He turns around and he's like, "Oh my god!" Oh my god. But anyway, yes, I'd love a husky. That'd be my dream pet. Oh, excuse me. That would be my dream pet if I could have one. Or a parrot. Love a parrot, bro. Teach it to talk to me.
Parrots are so fun, man.
I know your nan has a budgie.
My nan has a cockatiel. She has about 4 budgies. Well, she had about 10, and she has a African grey parrot as well.
Oh yeah.
which shares the same birthday as me, 16th of May. I'll add my PayPal if you want to send me any money. But,
plug not sponsored. But yeah,
it is so fun. Like it was so fun to teach him stuff. I can whistle like really loudly. And my dad can as well. He can put all of his fingers in his mouth and like blow as hard as he can.
Oh, yeah, when you're
fucking destroys your ears. Yeah. And I was in my nan's one day because my nan was at my house and she told me to go down to hers because it's like a 2-minute walk from mine to like get a bag or something that she forgot of like drinks and that. So I decided to go down there and I was in her house for about 20 minutes trying to teach it this whistle. And my nan went back into her house that day, yeah. Not even 5 fucking minutes when she came into the house. She pulled up and fucking the parrot was doing this deafening fucking whistle. Like absolutely destroying her ears, man. It was so fucking funny.
Can't go wrong with a parrot who tells you to fuck off as well, you know.
That is true.
Can't go wrong with that.
On the phone, fuck off. And when you're about to leave, yeah, he says bye.
But CJ, if you could have, so you have 2 cats and how many dogs? What, 8 dogs? 6.
No, 8, yeah, 8.
Because you have like what, 6 puppies and 2 big dogs, I swear.
4 puppies and 4 dogs.
4 puppies, 4 dogs. Okay, fair enough.
There's Diesel, Dave, Daisy, and Duke, and Jerry and Luna. Jerry and Luna are the cats.
So one of them who CJ very kindly showed, who looked like he wanted to scratch your face off. But
that cat is an idiot. He literally sat like right there, like my wall was right there. He sat at it when my light was on. It was like this, deep into the wall.
Just hello there
for about half an hour waiting. I don't know what the fuck he was waiting for. Like he was just like this.
You know when cats like arch their back. Move. You know when they arch their back like they're about to attack you.
Yeah.
But if you could have.
Our cats are actually outside cats, but it was that cat is just a complete idiot. He ran into a fucking glass door as well.
That's probably why he's an idiot. He got brain damage.
We heard a massive meow outside, and he was like, "The fuck is that?" And all we hear is 2 seconds later, he ran into the patio door.
Oh my god! If you could have a pet though, other than the ones you have, what would you get?
I don't know.
Or are you happy with your pets?
I'm happy with all my pets, but I don't know what one I would actually have. I'd have to go with like an exotic animal that I could keep next.
A shark.
Definitely. I would rather have a fucking I'd rather have a tiger or a lion as a pet than a fucking chimp.
You fucking Joe Exotic.
I'm not even joking. I would, bro.
And Carol
tigers are only loyal to one person. Tigers are only loyal to one person, so I don't think I would have one of them. I think I'd have a lion.
Fair enough.
Or an Arctic fox or a white wolf.
That should be cool. That'd be cool.
I love foxes, man. That I literally forgot about foxes. I love foxes.
Billy, are there any like exotic animals you would have? Fortnite llama.
I'll take a penguin.
A penguin.
The sick.
Happy feet, right?
Yeah. Exactly. I'll teach you tap dance.
Mr. Popper's penguins.
Or I want like the Biggie cheese. Or like
yeah,
the rat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Biggie cheese. Like the rats from Flushed Away. Like just get
Mr. Tomsky.
But yeah, other than a husky, I don't really know.
Ferret.
Capybaras.
Oh yeah, ferrets are like, but ferrets can get into like anything, and you wouldn't even know they're there. They're just. It reminds me of this video of this guy on TikTok. I think it was either TikTok or Vine or something, where he's got his ferret and he's moving him around like this, and he's like body dancing because it's like ferrets like that. If I can find a video, I'll put it here. But yeah, definitely pets are lovable. Some are assholes. Love pets. Wish I could have them. If I did, they would be my life if I had a pet. But you know, we'll have to see what the future holds. I'm gonna be 19 in a month, so we'll have to hope and pray that something good comes along. I won't get a pet, but we'll see. But anyway, is there anything you both want to add to that topic before we go to our break?
I have one funny story about my cat.
Oh, go on.
Me, my uncle, my dad, and my mum were all in the front room. My uncle just popped up for a visit for no reason. Like, he just come down. He was like, "Oh, hey, what's up? I'm here now.
Yeah.
You have to feed me." Basically, we were just chilling or anything. And he bought a plastic bag full of Guinness cans.
Guinness.
And he finished Guinness cans, squashed them, put them in the bag. And because he was like 10 cans down or whatever, he had this amazing idea. So we got one of the cats. No, we got both of the cats actually. And I held out their tail, and he tied a plastic bag to the cat's tail with the Guinness cans in it.
Oh no.
And we put the cat down, like just waited, because he didn't realise because it was eating. And we done it to both of them, and they're both eating, like deep eating. They were still more or less, they were not kittens, but they were like older.
Yeah.
The realization on their face, they both turned round, looked at each other, and just fucking ran like Tom from
Tom and Jerry.
Bro. They ran. They were running all the way up and down the house, the bag flying everywhere, fucking all in the kitchen sides, bro.
Listen,
and there was a hole in our bathroom, in our kitchen. Yeah, they went in there and they got fucking stung.
It's okay. RSPCA don't come for him. Totally, it's an animal abuse. Don't worry about it. It's not animal abuse if it's funny. It's not animal abuse if it's funny. Did you, or just one more thing? Did you see that Hasbullah's been in hot water recently for like scolding his cat? He's been in like the public eye because he's like not abusing his cat when people are saying he's abusing him, but he's like grabbing his ear and like doing that and just like pushing it because the cat was being bad. So he was just like pushing it out of the way and telling it, no, like you shouldn't be doing that. But he obviously posted it, and the whole of social media is like, Hasbullah's an abuser. He's abusing this cat and shit like that.
It's not like that footballer.
The cat's more likely to abuse him.
Exactly. He's shorter than the fucking cat.
How do I say it? Fucking, he's not like Kurt Zuma, the football player. He basically.
I thought you meant the Moshi monster.
And booted it like a fucking thing.
Fucking cat Zuma. Oh my god. Anyway, we're gonna cut to the break. We're gonna go on our small little break for now for the podcast, and then when we come back, we should hopefully have Bevan, and we'll move on to our final two topics. Like I said, I don't think there's anything more you guys want to add. No. Nope. Okay, cool. All right. We'll see you guys soon after the break.
Oh, do you like the thing on my wall, by the way?
Oh, is that like a mouth? It looks like a mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I
quite
fucked
cool.
up the tongue there, yeah, but
it's okay.
It looks sick, yeah.
Still looks cool. Yeah, it looks very good. Right.
as well.
that was from what Elise did, right?
Yeah, I drew the outline. She coloured it in.
Oh, okay. Right, I'm gonna cut back in.
Right, go.
Okay, hey guys, welcome back. This is after the break now. I know we are in different outfits. We are in different clothing. We did cut to a break for the first part, and then, I'm not gonna lie, we had to record this a few days later because not everyone was available for part 2. But we're back. We've finished our break, and we are back with a special guest who has just gone off camera. CJ has got his cat. That's the special guest. No, I'm kidding. Our special guest, when he walks back on camera and he's gotten what he needs to get. Ooh, ooh, hype it up. What are you looking for?
I don't know where it's gone.
Oh, you look fine. Well, that's our special guest. Part 2, we got Bevan. So obviously we don't have Billy anymore. He was here for part 1. He wasn't able to do part 2, but that's absolutely fine. Not part 4, sorry. On episode 4, he's playing the crew. Bevan's playing the crew too right now. Let's go. So for episode 4, which is going to be the episode after this, we have an action-packed episode because we have quite a few people, and that will come out a few days after this episode. But yeah, we've got Bevan. So Bevan's kind of filling in for Billy as well, even though he was here in part 1. But Bevan, my brother, how are you doing? How's your day been? You were here on episode 1, I think it was? You were here on episode 1 of the podcast. What have you been up to since January?
Fuck all.
Oh, really? Well, I mean, I know you've had work and stuff. I know you've been quite tired. Do you want to tell the people who are watching at home what it is you do, so you can explain to them what it is and why you are tired?
The hub.
The hub.
The hub.
Yikes! He does the
No. Law firm, law work.
Yeah. So he does a lot of law work. He's up and down the country quite a lot. So he's very busy and obviously often tired, as you would be. But CJ, now it's a couple of days later. I'll also come back to you. How are you feeling? How you doing? What have you been up to as well?
All right. I'm doing pretty well for myself. I'm getting all of these courses in, doing my thing, getting my CV done. I'm trying to move up. Oh,
love it.
Yeah, I'm trying to move up. Like, I'm trying to just actually do stuff for myself because I'm getting sick and tired of being at home.
Yeah.
Like even with my parents, like I want to be not independent, but I just don't want to live off people anymore. I just want to live for myself.
Yeah, I respect that. I think everyone does it at some point in their life. Usually, quite early on, people realize like, oh, independence is quite nice. I'd like to have my own independence, and it also shows maturity too. So I guess that's good. That's really good that you know what you want. Bevan, are you happy with the job you have now and what direction you're going in?
I'm happy with the job I've got, but the direction so far, I can't lie, man. It's shit. It's a bit wanking.
Yeah.
Fine on mine, innit? Really, it's fine. It's all good, innit? Give me a couple years, and I'll be driving down in my fucking Lambo, innit?
That's good. Me. I'm waiting for the time you get to come back down here because first drinks are on me. Or listen, all drinks are on me.
Oh yeah.
It's your celebration birthday. Your birthday. Your birthday was a couple days ago. We obviously didn't get to celebrate it with you, but this will be like a belated present when you next come down. So.
Safe. Let's come on.
Yeah, get some things going. But are we ready to jump into topic number 3 of the podcast? So I know a lot of people are very opinionated on this topic. To anyone who's watching, please do not be offended. Everything that is said is just personal opinion. You cannot get annoyed at personal opinion because an opinion's an opinion. You can't change it. You can suggest it. You won't be able to change it. But our topic 3 is on gender equality. So, as we know, this current generation, or considered the woke generation, is very kind of advanced on the idea that there are more than two genders. There are transgender. There's a lot of all of this stuff, which I personally think is a lot of nonsense. But you can have your opinion. I don't care. You know, agree with what you want to agree with. But I'll start with Bevan because he is the special guest cutting to after the break. Bevan, how do you feel about the current generation with the gender equality crisis? I would say. What do
It's
you
a
think?
trend.
It's a trend.
That's what it. It's a trend. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Please explain to me, right, how before 2020, before COVID lockdown, right, there was nothing. It was unheard of. All of a sudden, right, we get locked into our houses for 2 years. What fucking delusional little prick has just come up with fucking 70 other genders?
Yeah, you're right.
That is very true.
Sorry, hold on a minute. How is a xenomorph a fucking gender?
What the fuck? It sounds like a fucking thing from Power Rangers.
It's something
the
from
alien.
Alien. It's the Alien movie.
It's the alien. It's the species of alien from the movie Alien vs Predator. It is a species of a fake character, but it's a gender now all of a sudden. Bruv, you mental health patients, bruv, go and get your head checked out, right? And I tell you something as well, right? All these people who claim to be fucking pansexuals, sexual, whatever you want to fucking call it, right? Stop self-diagnosing with fucking mental problems as well, man. Because that shit, that's tied into obviously gender equality, bruv. It's not a thing, man. Grow up.
Yeah,
Put in sexualities and preferences.
Yeah, you're right.
I know being gay is a preference, but still, it's like you don't need pansexual when you have bisexual. Like male or female, it's just like one or the other.
Exactly.
It's definitely like one of the things we spoke about when we were with Lauren last. If you guys watched episode 1 of the podcast, I'll link it up or down actually in the description, and there'll also be a tag up top. But like what Bevan said, you know, it's like it is a trend. It has been a trend, you know. It's like nowadays the youth kind of feels that they have to be one of these things to fit in, which is a bit ridiculous. What happened Sorry, go on, Bev, go on.
Why is it being forced onto kids as well? What the fuck is your lot's problem? Why are you trying to take the innocence of a fucking 5-year-old away? Let them be a kid. You got to be a kid.
Yeah.
Why can't they be a kid? Even I know some ratty little prick is going to turn around. Sorry for the language, yeah?
Sure.
Right, but some ratty little prick is going to turn around at some point and go, oh, well, I didn't have a good childhood. I never got to be a kid because my mum and dad were never there. They was there, right? But you wanted to go out and hang out with your fucking shit cunt little friends, right? Thinking that you're all this and that, right? And then when your parents called you in and tried stopping you from doing something stupid, you went and became a rebel against them. Your parents were always there for you. Your parents gave you one of the most amazing upbringings you can think of, right? Yeah. I used to think I had a shit upbringing. I never thought my mum and dad did a good job, right? But looking at where I am now, I'm very grateful for what they did for me. Honest to God.
Yeah.
You honestly, right? You choosing to be a fucking different gender does not tie in with you fucking your parents or your childhood or nothing. This is you seeing it on social media and going, oh, do you know what? Today I think I'm going to be a fucking sign or I'm going to be a kangaroo.
Or fucking block of cheese, bro. Transformer.
Exactly.
Like, it don't make sense.
Like, I do understand. I understand to an extent of not feeling comfortable in your own body, which I respect that. You know, I respect feeling sometimes that people feel maybe one day a bit more feminine than they do masculine. But that doesn't mean you have to completely change who you are just because of that. You can still be considered a tomboy if you're a girl. If you're a bit more masculine as a girl, then you're a tomboy. It doesn't mean you have to be a man, though. You know, just because, quote unquote, stereotypically, men have it easier than women, it doesn't mean that you have to then choose to be a man to opt for an easier lifestyle when all it will do is actually just make it harder for yourself.
I think being a woman personally is more easier in this day and age at this point in time. So being a man is so hard, like especially our type of man, like straight white men. Nowadays, we're getting it from every fucking angle that is like possible.
I'm surprised you
Wait,
didn't
but-
say excluding me. I thought you were gonna turn around and be like excluding Sam. But no, sorry, continue.
What I would like to know, right, is how is it transphobic or homophobic for a straight man not to want to shag a fucking tranny? Please explain. How
It's
is that
not.
transphobic
It's
or
preference.
homophobic? Exactly.
It's
And
true.
even fat chicks as well. Like, I'm sorry, it's the same as fat. Like, it's that fat women. It's like
Exactly.
no woman wants to date like a fucking 300-pound guy.
Mm.
Or in my
Exactly.
case, 260.
I
But
just
still, like, some girls want it. Some girls like want to like don't mind heavier guy, but
It all comes
even
down
then.
to personal preference, yeah. And in this fucking woke generation, bruv, half of you can't even spell the fucking word woke, by the way, right? In this woke generation, you can't have your own opinion. You can't have a preference without some little rat getting offended. Most of you lot are sheeps, bruv.
Yeah,
You lot
Literally,
need to
they follow.
yeah, it's true.
You lot like I'm not. I listen. I don't agree or condone anything with Andrew Tate. Yeah, but you lot cancelled a guy who was trying to teach kids how to be better people.
To how to be
Yeah.
men.
Exactly.
Like trying to take like he was telling them to get in shape, get a better mindset. Obviously, don't do the stuff like he's got with the women or whatever. But like he was trying to teach people how not to be fucking so not feminine, but like
Not a pushover. Like not to be a pushover to women.
not to be a bitch. Yeah.
Exactly. But it's like going like just a slightly bit off topic. Excuse me, just a slightly bit off topic, yeah. But it's like feminists. They say that they're oppressed and everything like that, but
They're not anymore.
when you do history class, yeah, do you learn about women or do you learn about men?
Men and women.
Right? When I was in school, specifically me when I was in school, I never learned about any fucking male figures. I always learned about females.
I'd say now it's definitely more you learn about both because you still have things like the suffragettes and a lot of that.
Yeah.
But then there's also the side of learning about the communists and the Nazi party with like Hitler and Joseph Goebbels and all of that.
And the thing is, they weren't thingy specifically towards women as well. They killed everyone except for animals, except for Stalin. But still.
Yeah.
No, it's true. And I want to say something about transgender as well. It's like, why do they have to make a separate gender? Oh no, gender, not transgender. But like, why do they have to make a separate gender just for transgender? Like, if you want to be transgender, you want to switch genders. You don't want to label yourself as trans.
Exactly.
But just say you're a woman. Like, if you're a man and you want to become a woman, after you've had the process, I think there should be a specific time where you have to, like, you're in between. So you don't really look like a man and you don't really look like a woman. Like, you kind of look like both. There should be like a thing in between where you can like choose.
Yeah.
But like before you have the surgery or whatever.
Agreed.
One of the things I don't understand as well, which kind of makes me laugh, a lot of the time when these transgender people decide to transition, specifically talking about a man going to a woman, a man is like, I feel more feminine, I want to be a female, I want to look like a female. That's okay. But then they keep their original male name, and then it kind of throws off everything. So it's like to an extent, it's like they're trying to show that they're empowered by who they used to be to become what they are now. But then it kind of defeats the whole point of doing what they wanted to do. You can't become a woman and then keep a man's name because that was your old name and, oh, I'm empowered by what I was. Well, if you were so empowered, then why did you change?
Yeah. I think personally, people shouldn't be able to transition until they're at least 20. And even then, they should have a full-on mental health course with a therapist and therapy to see whether they actually want it or not.
Exactly.
Because there's been many like fucking test studies and whatever to show like most people regret it after like 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
And you've
You're
got
right.
even like 80, 90-year-olds who did actually transition back in the day before all of this fucking like
nonsense
stuff on social media and fucking the trends that people want to do nowadays. And by being like a separate fucking species to everyone else.
Yeah.
Like even they started to regret it when at their thing and at their old age.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's not something you should take lightly.
I
At
mean,
all.
how are you meant
Exactly.
to know as even at 15, 16, that's still when you're going through puberty and your brain is changing because of the chemicals that change once you hit puberty. Of course, you can
Yeah.
have your own input and you can be mature, but even then, how are you meant to know? You've only lived 15, 16 years of your life. That's
It's
not
like them people.
nearly enough to know if you are or not. It
It's
usually
like this
takes about
poor kid.
20.
Yeah, I forgot what her name was, but she transitioned at like 11.
Is it Jazz?
Like
Are you
11.
talking about that
Yeah.
Jazz girl who? Yeah, I know what you're on about.
She transitioned at 11. Yeah, she loves her life right now. Good for her. But fucking, she transitioned at 11. That shouldn't be allowed at all. It's disgusting.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like you're making a child have adult decisions just because you don't want to hurt their feelings.
There's this family on TikTok at the moment. They used to be massive back in the day on YouTube. They were like, part of the vlogging community when that was like a huge trend and stuff like that. They're called the Sicoli Jolies. You might have heard of them. I don't know, but they're an Irish family. And they have a younger boy and a younger girl. So a son and a daughter. But then at about the age of 6 or 7, apparently the son wanted to transition. So everyone was a bit like, okay, all right, well,
like,
that's interesting. And then it's now gotten to the point where this kid is going to these therapists being like, I want to transition. But everyone was very suspicious of the dad because he made a book. And in his book, he had written about how when he was younger, he wanted to transition. So then it gets people like us as the viewers and that thinking, well, hold on a minute. Are you just pressuring your son like this because this is what you wanted for yourself? Are you trying to imprint your own personal vision onto this child whose brain isn't even developed yet to want to know if they want to do that or not? So it's a bit off. And how do you know? How do these children know that they want to be men or women or whatever they want to do when they're older? I know for one, when I was younger, as a joke, sometimes you are more feminine. You put on lipstick or something like that. That's what you do when you're a kid. You don't
like if you
know you're gonna do that.
Let's say if you want to play with dolls, if you have a boy and you have a girl, yeah. If the boy likes playing with dolls' houses, get him a doll house. Don't get him a dress. Like, just let him wear what he wants. If he wants a dress, give him a dress. If he wants some fucking dolls, toys, houses. If he wants pink shit, get him it. Like, there's no harm in it or anything. But don't go through all this shit where he has to change his gender, his name, his procedure. Don't do that to a child.
Exactly.
It's a fucking child.
I saw a TikTok account not too long ago, and they're still running. I can't remember the name of the family that are doing this, but their 5-year-old son, 5 years old, by the way, played with a doll, and he said, "Oh, I like playing with dolls." So they went and they legally changed his name to a female name, and they bought him all new dresses, skirts, crop tops, all this, makeup, all this.
Why would you buy a crop top for a child?
Exactly. Well, it's a bit noncy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit like sexualizing your kid, and that's a bit wrong.
I have always said, and not being funny, right? Not all of them, but the LGBTQ community is
they've taken that off of gay people. I'm not even joking. They have their rights. They have the right to marry anyone or whatever. But at the moment, the trans community and the other communities below that or over that are trying to take the rights of gay people, are basically making gay people look bad now, because there's the old gays that don't agree with this generation. I saw a TikTok of the thing on the other I saw a TikTok the other day. I'm not TikTok, but a reel on Instagram, where it says this gay guy actually ripped up a pride flag because he hates what the people in pride are actually doing, because they're sexualizing, they're doing all of this to power women or to empower people, when all they're really doing is doing it for their own fucking
not even to
gains.
just children though. They're doing it to straight people and being like, predatory and being like, you're straight, but I know you're gay. I know deep down you know you're gay because you've done this in your life, so you're 100% gay, you know? And it's like, I disagree with what the LGBT community is. I don't disagree with whether you're gay or straight. I don't care. You can be whatever you want to be. But just this community is ruining a lot of things for people. Gay people aren't bad. It's the community that's the problem.
Yeah.
Literally, the gays don't even like the community, man. And they still believe it. And do you know what really pisses me off?
What?
How the fuck do they have how can they sit there and have the audacity to turn around and say, oh, I'm a lot more brave than the soldiers that fought in World War
That
One.
pissed me off. That pisses
Look at
me
what
off,
I've
genuinely.
done.
There was a fucking old World War II veteran, walking past the fucking bunch of woke people, past a fucking
I saw this.
A statue
I
of
saw
a war
this.
fucking thing,
Yeah.
crying. There was another World War II veteran crying, saying people don't appreciate what they have anymore, what they fucking fought for. This pattern actually fucking hurt me, man.
You know what?
Like, genuinely.
No. Seriously, man, Putin just needs to nuke everyone. I'm telling you.
I agree.
Start again.
Honestly.
Just start again.
Trust me, man. We need a reset. Take every motherfucker out and restart. We need a restart.
I will say, like, I definitely agree with that. I mean, that literally, people who fought in the war fought for everything we have now. But look what we have done with everything we've been given.
The right to vote. You fucking whinge. You whinge. Everyone fucking whinges when things go hard. It's like, oh, this person passed away, or this one done this, or this one killed themselves. Yeah. Like, fair enough. But don't use it as an excuse. Or my mum didn't treat me right, or my dad didn't treat me right. Don't use it as a fucking excuse to do anything that you want and try to push your values on things and views onto other people. Don't whinge about it. Just get on with your life.
We've been handed freedom. We've been handed freedom on a silver platter, and it's like this generation has just spat on it.
Peace. There's peace with every fucking nation.
We've been handed this, and it's been knocked out of our hands. It's been ridiculous.
It gets on my nerves, right? That people still believe that we're in a first world country as well, and we're not. No,
not at all.
We're just a very rich and powerful third world country. Trust me. You go to the poorest parts of like Africa, Nigeria. Yeah, trust me, they would be they're more appreciative of
anything,
a handful of clean water than most of these little rats are when they get handed a fucking brand spanking new car.
Yeah,
exactly.
I don't know if you've seen the video, right? This lesbian 17-year-old, and this is a true story, yeah, and it's all over YouTube at the moment. I don't know if you've seen it. Her dad went out and spent $56,000 buying her a brand spanking new Tesla Model X, right, for her birthday, her 17th birthday. She just passed the test and everything, yeah. She went, "This isn't lesbian enough for me. I don't want it. Get rid of it." Right? He went, "What? Are you joking? I've spent all of this money. I've saved up for I've saved up since you were young to buy you a really nice first car, and you've been really unappreciative." You know what she did?
What?
When her mum and dad went to sleep, she set the car on fire, saying, "I told you I didn't want it."
What?
That kid, I would disown that kid right then and then. Even if it was my own flesh and blood, I wouldn't stand for that. Like, genuinely, ridiculous. I wouldn't. If I got disrespected on that fucking level, I saved up £60,000. Even in this economic drop, yeah, where everything's getting way more expensive, fucking everything's becoming harder to buy. If a kid done that to me, I wouldn't have it. I'll teach it.
Honestly, people just need to be more appreciative of what they've got. Because there is people out there that
nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, you're right.
Honestly, and they're just appreciative just to wake up every morning.
I just think that I think this generation needs like more than a slap on the wrist. You know, we all need.
It needs a world war to. It needs a big event.
Yeah. I mean,
it needs to bring a big event to bring everyone together.
We thought
it needs a shock factor. Like,
we thought COVID was gonna be that thing, but instead COVID made it worse. Which
we
is
need
the problem.
World War III. we need World War III, and we need national service to come back into play.
I don't want to wish on that.
Brave.
I don't necessarily want to wish on that, but I do agree with what you're saying. But don't wish for that, because that would be absolutely horrible for everyone.
It'd be fucking horrific. But
well, national service, minimum national service needs to come back in, where you have to do a minimum of 4 years, 3-4 years in the military.
Yeah,
by law.
I would do that. They still have that in some countries like Korea and fucking
yeah.
Honestly,
then we'll see who the brave ones are.
I just want to go back to something I was saying earlier about how, because this whole topic is to do with gender equality and you know the rights and things people have. The story that I was saying earlier about the kid on TikTok who's being forced to transition, like what you were saying, Bevan, and stuff like that. I'm gonna share something that I've never shared with anyone, because I've always been not ashamed of it, but it's kind of cringed me out a little bit. So when Frozen, so the first Frozen film came out, right? I went and watched that. I watched that with my best friend at the time, because, you know, she was a girl, she loved that stuff. I actually found it quite interesting. I was a kid. You know, when you're a kid, you find stuff like that interesting.
I like it. I still like it today.
I loved Elsa. I loved Elsa so much, you know. I thought she was really cool because she had like these powers and stuff. And this is the first like, I don't know, Disney character to have proper like powers. And I wanted a doll. I wanted like an action figure or something of it, so I could play with that, because I loved playing with toys when I was younger. I was still about maybe 7 or 8 when it came out, you know, and I wanted to have a figure that I could play with of this character. And I went to a shop in Croydon with my mum, and she was like, I don't know if I should get that for you. And I was like, come on, mum, please. And she was like, okay, if you want it, then I'll get it for you. Because she didn't see it as whether you'll look a bit puffy or not, like if you look gay or whatever. She saw it as my kid wants to play with something and he can do that. So we bought it, and it just, I had this doll for a few years, but I didn't necessarily want my dad knowing, because he would have been a bit like, what are you doing? So we kept it at my friend's house, because, you know, she lives around the corner from me. She has all these dolls. Yeah, it was Rosie. She had all these dolls and stuff like that, so I would keep it round at hers. But it just goes to show, I still played with dolls when I was a kid, but I still want to be a man. I'm proud to be a man. I'm happy being a man. I'm a masculine person. Yes, I can be puffy as a joke or whatever it is that I want to do, but I don't want to transition. I might be a bit more feminine, but I don't want to transition. And that's the key thing that this generation will not ever understand. It's just because you're slightly a bit more feminine than masculine, or more masculine than feminine, does not mean that you are entitled to be the gender that is supposedly stereotypically signed to or attached to, you know?
I have a thing that happened with me. I think you guys both know, but I kind of realized what I was doing, and I was like, need to stop that.
Go on. Well,
I don't know. No, I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say.
I think I know what you're on about. But that's okay.
I kind of realized, like in my head, in my own time, because I was alone. I was basically alone for 2 years. I had no friends. I had no one to talk to. Literally, it was just me by myself. I'd only had my cousin. I barely talked to my family. I was just me alone in my room, and I don't know why, but that gave me mental strength, because I was alone. Like, I knew myself. I kind of figured myself out, and I knew what I wanted to do. Like, genuinely, like, as much as it was pain and torture, I fucking needed it. I needed it, like 100%. And I'm so fucking glad I didn't go through with what I wanted to go through with.
Yeah.
I'm so fucking happy.
Yeah. That's understandable. I mean, everyone obviously has a point in their life where they question themselves, because I think, you know, even if you don't, that's okay. But I feel like it's common denominator that everyone in their life is a bit like, well, hold on a minute, this could be this way. And you could contemplate it for 5 minutes, you could contemplate it for 5 years, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go through with whatever it is you're contemplating just because you've had an idea about it, you know?
No, not just because everyone else is doing it doesn't
Yeah,
mean you
or
need to do it as well.
exactly, or just because everyone else
Or
is
just
doing
because
it.
just because it becomes normal doesn't
Mhm.
mean that you should do it as
Just
well.
because I have a group of women doesn't, or like a group of friends who are women, doesn't mean I want to be that. You know, I can still be a man and have a laugh with girls. You know.
Look, to put it simply, yeah, for all you simple-minded brain people, but not everyone likes it up the arse like you do.
Exactly.
And
I
you
don't.
can't force that onto people.
Neither do I,
They
honestly.
don't
I
like
do
it up
not.
the arse. They don't like it up the arse. They don't want to scissor it. They don't want to scissor. Simple as. There's no in between, bruv.
Yeah.
There's no in between. Stop forcing your agendas onto other people that don't want to. That don't.
It's grooming.
No one.
It's grooming.
Most of the times, genders are actually sexualities. Like,
Exactly.
if you think about it.
To put it this way, yeah, no one's got a problem with you with who you are or what you if
What you
like
believe in
or not. Exactly. No one cares. No one disagrees with that. But what's pushing people away and what's making people hate you lot is the fact that you're pushing it onto them and trying to force it down their throats and onto kids as well. That's what's pissing people off. If you stop doing that, society will accept you more.
Yeah.
Trust me.
I won't ever disagree with you. I won't ever disagree with, you know, people who want to transition. I'm absolutely okay with it. I have no hate in my heart towards these people. But when they're pressuring and they're forcing and they're saying, you need to be this, or maybe you need to take time and figure yourself out. Well, do you not think that we all have our own brains and our own will to decide if we want to or not? You know?
Can I just quickly say something? This is going to spark a lot of debate. Probably not between us, but between people who may or may not watch this. I don't think there should be a Pride Month, and
No,
I don't
agree.
think that I don't think there should be a Black History Month either, because there's no White History Month, there's no Straight History Month or whatever. There's no fucking thingy. There's no thing to label. You can't label straight white men. Like, we don't label ourselves, but we know like they are, and people respect us, kind of.
Yeah. Do you know something as well? You can't even like label yourself as born as a male or born as a female. There's now a separate pronoun, cisgendered.
I don't know what the fuck that is. That confused the shit out of me for the longest time.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I'm just male. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean cis? What the fuck does cis mean?
Yeah.
It sounds like a derogatory term. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Bruv.
Cystic fibrosis. Cystic fibrosis.
Male and female, yeah. If you wanna chop your willy off, or you wanna fucking grow one, do it. Don't fucking. Don't be trying to push on to fucking straight people cystic fibrosis crap, bruv.
Yeah.
Leave that out of it.
Seriously. With what CJ said about the whole Pride Month thing, I agree, because it shouldn't take like a whole month
because
for people to categorize that.
No. It's not that. It's because they still think they're victims. They're not victims anymore.
Yeah.
Like, Black history is all history, because Black history was all prevalent throughout history itself. It's not specifically white or Black history. And the same with like LGBT and that. There's always been gay people. There's always been things. Yes, there was a time where they were oppressed and no one really wanted them to have rights or whatever. But fucking, it's not like a major thing today. Like, why would you have a month just to yourself?
Don't they have a week and a month?
Yeah, they have a week and a month. Like,
what about?
It's not needed anymore.
Exactly. What about why can't we have a World War I and II like Memorial Month?
Yeah.
It's only a day. It's only a day, and it's the 11th of November.
Yeah.
And it's Remembrance Day. Remember what happened.
What you motherfucking selfish ratty brats have now? Yeah, people died for, and you abuse what you've got. You're disgusting.
Like
you
me.
don't have anything. None of you deserve. You lot don't deserve fuck all. Not you two.
We don't go around saying, well, where's our straight month? You know, we're straight men. We should be like, where's our straight month? We should celebrate men and women. You know, but then as soon as you say that, the woke people are going to be like, well, you didn't have to fight because you're just used to it, and it would just spark that. You know.
You lifted yourself off your coat hanger and walked out your closet, you fucking idiot. What's brave about that, you melt? Chill out. You didn't put your bullets, did you? No, you never. What the fuck, man?
Bevan
We're a pair of boys.
describes it the best way. You grabbed your coat hanger and you walked out the closet. That is the best way to describe it. Honestly, that's great.
You do this, man.
I
What's
will,
brave about?
I will
Nothing.
say another thing before we finish this topic. I've got the perfect segue for the next thing. Social media has not helped this at all. Social media,
No,
in fact, has made
it's
it
become a trend. It's
worse.
TikTok specifically.
I don't hate
TikTok and
TikTok.
Instagram.
It's just it's not.
TikTok and Instagram specifically because the algorithms push the gay, the pride, the transgender, the trans-neutral, whatever the fuck that is. They push it. Like they literally push it and force it onto kids. Like they say, yeah, you can fucking like turn it off in the settings. But what woke parent is actually going to go into the settings, turn it off for their child? They're not. They get fed lies all the fucking time.
You're right. You're right. Well,
It's so annoying.
as the perfect segue for topic numero cuatro.
Sorry, one more.
Yeah, go on.
I'm really sorry, but I don't want. This is like a bit fucked, but I don't want my kid to grow up in any part of this country, or any part in the Western world. I do not want my kid to grow up in the West.
Well,
Not
my
one
child
bit.
school. Trust me, I'm not sending my child public school.
100%.
End up having a fucking a drag queen come out and fucking give him a lap dance.
And as well,
Well,
at
I
least you
haven't
can
seen that.
teach your child the importance of things that matter. School only teaches kids about your maths, your English, your sciences, which I get are important, but I'd rather let my kids learn more about how they're going to need to do their taxes when they're older, and VATs, and all of this stuff, how you're going to get a job, how to apply for jobs, what you're going to do when you get a license, how do you go about getting a license,
how to cook, how to clean, how to do stuff for yourself. Because I'm not gonna lie, I was never taught how to cook. I was never taught how to clean. I didn't even know how to fucking use the washing machine. And as dumb as that sounds, I'm not even lying. I didn't.
Oh, you okay there, mate?
I just broke my eye.
Okay.
I was never taught how to do any of these things. I was never taught how to do my taxes, how to do law. Not law, but and I was never taught the laws of the world. I was never taught anything.
Yeah.
So even I would have walked into the world blind. I never knew how to make money. No one taught me how to make money. No one taught me how to do anything. And if that was all taught in schools, it'll be a flourishing society. Fucking no, it's
that is actually, because of my point, that is actually the segue, CJ. So topic number 4, right? Numero cuatro, I think that's right. Number 4 is about social media and our opinions on the apps of today. And what I was going to say,
should be banned.
What I was going to say with what you were just saying about school, that is probably one of the best things about social media nowadays, is that you can learn it all for yourself. You don't need necessarily someone to teach you. You have all of the... You okay there, Bev? You have all of the tools in front of you with your phone, your laptop, your iPad. What are you doing? You crazy guy. You're actually some crazy guy, you know. But it's true. Without YouTube, I wouldn't know a lot of the stuff that I know now. I wouldn't know how to create a lot of the content that I know how to make now because of social media, you know. So that is one of its pros. But I'm going to ask you two, what are your genuine overall opinions on social media as a whole and the apps that are created for this generation and how it goes?
Mine lean towards more the government as well with the app making and shit. Because fucking all the apps that are made are basically to keep us hooked, to basically enslave us and make them think what they want us to think. They want to separate us, they want to segregate us. They're trying to turn men against women with all the shit that they have. And it's so annoying. And they're using big platforms like TikTok, Instagram. They're making people want to sell their bodies and fucking turn into prostitutes, which are illegal. Yeah. And so it's not okay to do it in person, but it's okay to do it online. To sell your fucking body and to sell yourself. It's not. OnlyFans should be taken down. TikTok should be taken down. I don't mind YouTube so much because they don't force algorithms. They only force algorithms on what you watch, which is quite good. TikTok, if I go on now, all I want to see is funny memes, and then I see a girl with a pair of tits like flaunting their fucking transgenderness on my screen. It's dumb.
So let me say this then, CJ. Give me 2 pros and 2 cons of social media as a whole.
2 pros, it's way easier now than ever to make money. And
That's
specifically in this generation, no one has balls to go out and make money. They're all crying at home saying that, oh, I can't do this because of my health. I can't do this because I'm fat. I can't do this because I don't feel a certain way. I can't do this because I'm not right in the head. I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. It's all I can't do this. Like, genuinely. But if they actually sort themselves fucking out, they can make money so fucking easy. And it's never been a better time to get information off the internet as well about what's happening in the world. Like, it's never been better to do anything, like to get anything done, to do anything. It's mad.
Yeah.
Here's some ideas for making money for all you benefit abusers that are capable of working. Digital marketing, website like creating websites, social media handling, drop shipping, exactly. Come on, guys, it's not that hard.
Even then, do you know how to do drop shipping? I'll tell you. I'll literally give you a fucking tutorial. Make a website, build a following on social media, make a website. When you have a following, fucking advertise the product. Don't have no stock. You don't need money to do this. It's fucking retarded. People are saying like, oh, I don't have money to do this. I don't have money. You don't need money. Just make a fucking website. Get couple free trials. Yeah. Post your product. Get a bunch of products. Post them on your website. Offer it out on your fucking social media website. People will start buying the product. And then you can buy it yourself as well with the money that they gave you, and you have profit at the end. Like, it's so easy, and it's never been so easy to make money in your fucking life.
I'd say
genuinely,
that's another pro of social media. The fact that it is so easy nowadays to do. I'd say everything from home because of social media.
No one does it, and it's killing me.
Like, it's not necessarily a pro because you're still forcing yourself to stay at home. But it is at the same time because social media gives you another option to have somewhat of an easier way of doing things. And it's not the mindset that you should have, because you should have the mindset of, right, I want to work hard, so if I work hard, I get good things, you know. That should be the mindset. But as well, it just really does offer another solution. So with YouTube, you have even like the content creation platform of everything. You have this option to make and do what you want to do and still earn profit from it if you're lucky enough to get enough of a following. But as well with the social media, like what CJ was saying with was it drop shipping or drop shopping?
Shipping.
Drop
shipping, you can just get a following and you can advertise your products and then you get money from it. Literally.
Yeah.
It's so easy now.
Off topic. I've got an Xbox One now, Xbox One X. Just saying. So I can play Xbox now. It's quite sick.
Good stay.
They're already saying that because Bevan has been. He said that he got a PS5, but he's been stuck with his Xbox. What happened with that, Bev? Do you still have your PS5?
No, I decided against it.
Fair enough.
Who decided?
Everything that you can get on PS5, you can get on Xbox, apart from Spider-Man and God of War.
Yeah.
Literally.
And it's the same with PlayStation. If you have one, there's no point in getting another. But I'm a retard and like to spend money, so I bought both.
Anyway,
but actually, actually, my PS5 broke, so I got an Xbox, and then I managed to fix my PS5.
To be fair, this does actually correlate with social media, because PlayStations and Xboxes, yes, they're consoles, but it has a lot to do with what social media is about nowadays.
Personally, I would say video games has a really good impact on the world. Reason being is because of how games and how harsh their communities are, and they're so toxic nowadays. It actually teaches people to have thick skin, genuinely.
Right.
Like,
Bevan looks like a Greek god right now.
Have you heard of Call of Duty? Call of Duty lobby.
I used to play Black Ops 2 back in the days.
You will get cussed out straight away. You'll cry and go home.
Boy, You lot need to get into some lobbies with me, man. Trust me. You want to hear some of the shit that comes out of these guys' mouths. Shit, man. One of them the other day, one of them went, oh, you like shit, I'm going to shag your mum. When my mum's dead, he went, I'm going to sniff your mum's ashes, then you tramp.
But I'd say, I can't tell if it's more, like, if it's worse nowadays or back then. Because Black Ops 2, those days, was insane.
Back then, it is
Yeah,
worse.
that
I
was
mean, it's getting really bad now in, like, Warzone and that.
Yeah.
Not
But
even
back then.
Yeah, exactly.
She'd hear fucking CSGO lobby. Oh my god, it's so racist.
But with
like, genuinely, it's just, oh my god. You would hear every word, every racial slur that you've, like, fucking ever been against there. And more. You would hear shit that you've never heard before in a fucking CSGO lobby.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous. You hear some angry Russian say a bunch of Russian and then say a word in English that you understand and you know what the fucking word that I'm talking about.
Right. But with the social media side of it, like I was saying, a lot of the things nowadays, you are going to find a lot more gaming videos that are suggested to you on things like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. You know, wherever you go, you're going to see things about games. And games is a huge factor of what social media is nowadays. Like what I'm doing now, we're making a podcast that I'm uploading to YouTube. This is for the social media. This is what.
Be careful.
What?
Be careful, Sam. Don't be assuming that it's just a platform, okay? Don't be getting cancelled. Don't assume
yes, it's a platform. It's a business.
Don't. No. Oh my god, you're gonna get cancelled.
I'm sorry. I called it a platform. I'm sorry.
It's not a business. It's a lifestyle.
But
Fucking
there are these people who
cunts.
become really successful from this. There are these people who their life is
and they
from
call
this.
it a job. It's not a job. It's a fucking hobby.
But think
it's
about
disgusting. People say, "Oh, this is really hard to do. Oh, I can't do this," or like, even when content creators like say, "Oh, it's really hard to do my job." No, it's not.
I disagree. I disagree.
No, it's not. All you do is sit in the fucking house all day, get someone to edit your videos, and then play for like what 10 hours.
Yeah.
You're doing what makes fun. Yeah, you might get worn out or bored of it, but just take a break and come back and get your fucking money and fuck off.
Yeah.
Don't call it a hard job to do. You're not in the fucking mining. You're not in the mines, mining for coal. Worrying about if the fucking stabilization of the coal mine is gonna fucking drop in and kill you. No, you're not hanging off a fucking scaffold about 2,000 feet in the air.
Yeah.
So dumb. So dumb.
Libby, did you think he was watching YouTube?
Yeah.
Just like, hi, how are you? But I disagree, CJ, with the fact that because you're saying it's not a hard job, but
it's not.
I would say it can be hard if you're struggling to find things to create for content. If you're struggling to edit when you have a busy life as it is, that is somewhat difficult.
It's not a real problem.
I don't know.
It's not.
A
real problem is a real problem. A real problem is trying to struggle to get money and like struggling. Like, let's say if you're not performing and you need to do it, it's not that hard to do it. I'm saying about the job, not like the struggles or creating the problems or whatever. It's not that hard to be creative. It's not that hard.
I definitely
like,
agree with.
You're not in a life or death situation. Like genuinely, it's not hard to do anything.
I agree with always have something to fall back on, because if you are a full-time YouTuber and all you do is create content, and then one day your views start dropping and you fall off and you don't create the money, then you're going to need a backup job for no matter what, because you will always need something to fall back on. But Bevan, are you okay there?
Man's a helicopter.
You know what?
Helicopter.
Right,
that's why.
Just give me a second, guys. Just bear with. We'll cut back into it stuff in a minute. Just 1 second. Okay. Right.
Stop! Stop, you little rat!
I don't want to capture this on the footage for the people who are watching at home.
Hey! Stop it! Gremlin.
Yeah, nothing.
I'm trying to play PlayStation, man. Fuck off.
Careful.
Go on.
Right, I'm going to cut back into this anyway. Okay, and we are
the fuck
back.
happened there?
Sorry about this quick little break we just had. Don't mind Bevan and Libby fighting in the background. It's okay, guys. They're having their little couples fight. But what we were saying, Bevan, I'm gonna ask you in a second when you're ready and you're not so hyper. I was gonna. He seems occupied, but
What the fuck is happening?
Okay, there we go. No, he's having a couples fight. Right, Bevan. What's 2 pros and 2 cons about social media?
The hub.
That con or a pro?
That's a pro by far.
Depends. It depends how you want to see it. To be fair. No, I'm
Mhm.
joking. No, genuinely, 2 pros and a con. Pretty much. I don't know. It's easier to make friends online,
Yeah, I agree with that.
and you can learn. You do learn a lot more online than what you would in school.
Yeah.
Uh,
So those are your 2 pros,
Those are my 2 pros.
and then what's your 2 cons?
My 2 cons is that the wrong people use it.
Yeah.
It can be for the wrong reasons, such as noncing.
Yeah, that's true.
It's never been so easy to become a pedo. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
Like,
How would you know? How would you know? No, I'm joking.
I like watching weird documentaries, bro.
Oh, okay, I thought you said I like watching weird things, and I was going to say CJ. Okay.
This is
So
reality, fucking
it's never been easier to be a nonce. And what's the second one?
The second one is it's infecting the minds of young people at a rapid, at a really fast rate.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that like as in it. Young people need to be stopped like using social media completely, but I mean in terms of there's people on there spreading the wrong message or giving out the wrong news, and it's infecting the minds of the young people. And it's making them, because they're very gullible.
Yeah.
It's very easy to fool a young person.
What I was just going to say was I definitely think there should be, I mean, there are, but you can't really stop it. There should be an age limit as to when and where you can use and what you can watch, kind of thing. So, like, for example,
I'd say porn is the biggest problem that's happening in this day and age.
Yes.
People don't
Yeah,
know.
I'd
People
agree.
don't know how to treat girls. People watch porn all the time. Like genuinely,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
ridiculous. Like for me, I used to watch it a lot. I used to watch it nearly every day, but I've stopped. Like 100%, I've stopped.
Mm-hmm.
It gives you a completely
False
makes you
perception.
believe. Yes.
Yeah.
There's massive false perception around what people believe porn is, and it's not what it is made out to be. And a lot of guys that watch it believe that when they do it, a woman wants to be treated like shit, like wants to get beat up doing it and all that.
It's true.
And it's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
But more in the wholesome kind of range, not necessarily with porn, but with things like YouTube. I know they've got certain things in place, but it's still not enough to have a 7-year-old start watching the side of YouTube that's the evil side. You know?
No, you can't. See with stuff like that, fully clothed girls. I know people are prostrating themselves online or whatever, but it's never been easier to go on Google and type up tits, boobs, vagina, pussy, whatever the fuck, porn, fisting, fucking everything. It's never been so fucking easier in your life. Not even joking. It's never been so easy to go see it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Genuinely.
I want to know. Yeah, Twitch went from being a gaming streaming platform to something where a kid can go on there and see a girl half naked and tip her and have a link in there, have a link in her bio on Twitch.
To OnlyFans or something.
To OnlyFans, exactly.
Yeah. It's strange. It's really strange.
There should be, I believe there should be a much, and I mean really tougher restrictions on or on like creating accounts for certain like social media things, like you know how with fucking Instagram you've got to be 13 years or older to use it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's still not enough. That's
all
still
you got to do.
Enough.
Exactly. All they've got to do is put in a fake date of birth, and that's it. They're on.
I think so. My 2 pros, right? I'm going to start with my 2 pros. My 2 pros is one, social media, right? It could be considered a con as well, but it's very easy to use, and it can help with literally anything. My second pro is that a lot of the older generation, surprisingly enough, that looks really nice, but a lot of the older generation are now finding out how to do things and seeing this wonder that is social media, like YouTube, for example. When they were younger, they'd have to go to a library to find what they wanted, or they'd have to watch a film for hours just to find what they wanted, if that. So that's my two pros. I think it can be very good. My two cons. So one of the cons, like we were just saying, is that there isn't enough about age restrictions and stuff like that. I feel like when you are making an account, there should be a way to either there should be a law in place that you have to be a certain age, like an actual law in place, or there should be a thing where when it's asking you for your date of birth, you actually have to provide ID or evidence that you are. Because if you don't, you can fake it.
They do that for YouTube.
With that, which is good. But with things like Instagram, I could say my birthday is the 3rd of June 1985 and I'd be fine. But I'm not being asked
you can
any
go all the way
ID.
down to being 100.
Yeah, I'm not asked any ID about it because any kid can do that. Any kid can break the system, and it's ridiculous. So that's my one con. My second con is as resourceful as it is, right? I know this is gonna sound a bit stupid, but kind of along the same lines with like kids can do anything. Kids can use this for the real wrong reasons, and I don't mean like just a titty here and there. I don't mean that. I mean they can find some really shit stuff because there are videos out there that isn't monitored by YouTube whatsoever that a kid can find decapitated people. They could find people who are being lynched, They can find all of this horrible shit that YouTube are basically having a blind eye to, And as well with TikTok. I found recently that there's a lot of videos on TikTok of people uploading African tribes that are completely naked. But YouTube, like TikTok guidelines just don't see it. They just go completely past it.
No, do you know why that is?
Go on.
It's culture. It's because it's a culture. They don't want to come across as racist.
Either way, that's still children who are seeing big penises or vaginas or tits that their parents might not necessarily want them to see. I just it needs to be more of a kind of thing in place to protect youngers instead of showing them all of this stuff that's going to influence them to do the bad things.
I've actually got two things that I want to say on that, add on to it. Recently, actually, do you know Nokia?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Recently, they've had a massive spike in sales towards what the woke generation are now calling dumb phones.
Mm.
So I'm talking about the classic Nokia 3310
like brick phones. Yeah,
brick phones. People are buying that because they want to move away from social media, apparently, because it's infecting their minds and that.
I don't blame them.
Anyways, so that's just one point.
A lot of the sales are actually in England as well, because not because of brick phones, they're drug phones as well.
Yeah, drug dealing, like pages and shit like that.
Yeah. But do you know why TikTok was actually made by the Chinese?
No.
The actual it was to show that the West, how corrupt the West are, and to show that the Western society rewards anyone and everyone for even the most stupidest of things.
Well, they fucking succeeded. They succeeded because their point was not only proven, but it was pushed through the roof. So you can tell.
Literally, Charlie D'Amelio, yeah? The second most followed person on TikTok. How did she get there? Dancing.
Yeah.
Carby Lane, the most followed guy on TikTok, been rewarded just for doing that.
Yeah, he's going.
Bro, it's pathetic. It's pathetic.
And you see people with real fucking talent. Have you seen Chinese TikTok?
No.
All the algorithms of them succeeding in stuff. Like,
there's
them
also...
are then doing really well in sports, them doing really well in business, them doing really well in everything.
Yeah.
They're trying to get their nation to be as good as they fucking can.
There's a lot of like live videos as well of like workers in these factories just doing lives, and you can see everything they're doing. It's strange. There's some really weird like live videos out there, I definitely say. And the thing is, because it's live, TikTok can also turn a blind eye to that. Because if you have 7,000 people watching this live and not one of them reports it, you can have 7,000 people, the majority of them being children, seeing these people doing these weird things that TikTok can't turn a blind eye to because you don't have enough moderators on the platform to go around checking that, making sure the guidelines are safe and stuff like that. You know, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But at the same time, social media has provided such an upbringing for a lot of people, and it is the modern day society. You won't find one person, unless it's the older generation, you won't find one person who's not got a phone that has YouTube or Instagram or TikTok on it. There isn't one
Yeah.
person, I don't think, in the world, unless you don't have a phone. But even then, there are TVs that have built-in YouTube and stuff with that. So that
The only
is
thing,
the
the
modern
only
day
thing that I
society.
don't have and I refuse to use is TikTok.
Mm.
I've
That's
actually,
understandable. But you still have Snapchat, you still have YouTube. You know, it's the technological advancements.
I still dislike Snapchat, but yeah, no, I
I've
get
got,
what you mean.
I've got something to add on to a con.
Mm.
It's very, very easy to scam someone.
Oh yeah,
Everything they've got,
100%.
everything. There used to be a scam going around. Yeah, I don't know if it's still going around. They'd call you, and if you said the word yes or yeah or anything to agree with them, they'd record it, and they'd make up a fake contract over the phone, right? And they'd record it, and they'd sort of like snippet that recording in of you agreeing to this contract, and you've lost your house, your car, your money, you name it, it's gone, it's theirs.
Yeah,
that is very easy. It is as
silly.
simple. Getting all of your shit is as simple as opening an email.
I don't want to talk about it too much because we are kind of running over a little bit. But deep faking, how scary is deep faking? The fact that you can do anything now.
It's fucked. It is fucked. Like, you can deep fake people's voice, their fucking clips, their own videos. You can do anything.
Deep fake Joe Biden saying, let's send a nuke to China. Deep fake Barack Obama saying, I hate all white people. You know, you can deep fake anything. Anything. There's deep fake porn out there. You know, you could deep fake a child and do dirty things.
It's ruining people's life.
It's silly.
It is.
It's
like
silly.
big content creators and streamers that don't do sexual stuff. Like people like Pokemon. Like, she publicly stated that I'm never doing OnlyFans. She could make at least 10 million per fucking week or per month.
Yeah.
She said, estimated. That's fucking estimated. That's not full.
It's true though. Well, as we're getting to the end of this, I just want to say, is there anything anyone wants to add before we go? Is there any slight topic we want to add before we go? No?
Keep your chin up. Keep your chin up.
Don't follow trends.
Yeah.
Like,
be your own person.
Do not follow.
Be your own person, exactly.
Don't follow people. Do what you want to do. Do not follow people. And as easy as that sounds, or as hard as that sounds to say, just don't do it. Like, it genuinely, it will fuck up your life if you follow someone for the rest of yours.
Don't subject
Eat
yourself
spicy
to...
food.
Eat spicy food. Don't subject yourself to what other people have to say. Because like they said, you are your own person. And you don't have to listen to what other people tell you. Well, I mean, you do, but don't
also,
do what they're telling
you. If someone says something to you, do not completely disregard what they're saying. Listen.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Listen to what they're saying and don't shut them down.
So Bevan,
let me later in life you might need it.
Exactly. You could learn so much from everyone. Even if you're someone who's antisocial, you can learn anything. Bevan, what's one thing you've taken from this podcast before we end? What's one thing that you can say you've taken from this podcast that was actually good? It could be anything. It could be your favorite topic we spoke about. It could be whatever.
Getting to have a chat with
with
the boys.
Getting to have a chat with the boys. I mean, just to let people know who may not know, I've known Bevan since I was 7, and I've known CJ since I was 5. I'm now 19 in less than a month. You know, that's old. But you guys are the boys. You guys are the boys.
Old fuckers.
We're all old. We're all old. And CJ, is there anything you've taken from this podcast, or something that was your favorite? Name one thing that was your like favorite thing that we spoke about. Could be the thing we spoke about on part 1 with Billy as well.
To be honest, yeah, I actually haven't spoken to Bevan in fucking ages. I'm just grateful that I can actually speak to him again, bro. I'm not even lying.
It's been a good few years. It's been like 2-3
It's been a good
2-3
few
years. Yeah.
But I finally come out my isolation hole.
But as we end the podcast, thank you guys so much for watching. This has been episode 3. I want to say a big thank you to Billy, Bevan, and CJ, who have all been here for this episode. Episode 4, which is the one after this, will be much bigger because there is a lot more people. And this is going to be like practically after episode 3 comes out. But I want to say thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day, and I hope to see you guys soon for episode 4. Bye, guys.